The Cold War was a prolonged and tense confrontation between two superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union, along with their respective allies, from the end of World War II until the collapse of the Soviet Union in 1991. The Cold War was characterized by economic, political, military, and diplomatic competition between the two sides. The Cold War began after World War II, as the United States and the Soviet Union emerged as the only nuclear powers in the world. These two nations held opposing ideologies and goals, leading to increasingly intense confrontations. The United States was a capitalist country, advocating for individual freedom and free markets. The Soviet Union, on the other hand, was a socialist country, supporting collective ownership and planned economies. The two countries had differing views on how society and the world should be organized. The Cold War played out on various fronts, including 1. Economic. The two nations competed economically, with the United States having the world's largest capitalist economy and the Soviet Union having the world's largest socialist economy. 2. Political. There was a political influence competition globally, with the United States supporting capitalist governments and the Soviet Union supporting socialist governments. 3. Military. The military competition was fierce, with the United States having the world's largest military force and the Soviet Union having the second largest. 4. Diplomatic. There was diplomatic competition, with the United States establishing NATO and other military alliances to counter the influence of the Soviet Union. The Cold War had profound effects on the world, leading to the division of the world into two opposing blocs. It also resulted in the development of nuclear weapons, posing a threat of global destruction. The Cold War ended in 1991 with the collapse of the Soviet Union, marking the conclusion of a prolonged period of tension and confrontation between the two superpowers. Here are some key events in the Cold War. 1947. The United States introduced the Truman Doctrine, committing to support countries resisting communism. 1949. NATO was established, a military alliance of Western countries aimed at countering the Soviet Union. 1950-1953. The Korean War, a conflict between North Korea, backed by the Soviet Union, and South Korea, backed by the United States. 1957. The Soviet Union launched the Sputnik satellite, marking the beginning of the space race. 1961. The Soviet Union built the Berlin Wall, dividing East and West Germany. 1962. The Cuban Missile Crisis, a nuclear crisis that nearly led to war between the United States and the Soviet Union. 1972. The ABM Treaty was signed, limiting the deployment of anti-ballistic missiles. 1979. Soviet-Afghan War, leading to U.S. intervention. 1989. The Berlin Wall fell, marking the end of the Cold War in Europe. 1991. The Soviet Union collapsed, marking the end of the Cold War.